Navigating the U.S. immigration system is challenging and it is expensive. I'm Nathan O'Leary for Comcast Newsmakers. Making a difference in Southeastern Connecticut is the Immigration Advocacy Support Center. They're providing access to legal services for hundreds of immigrants every single year. And joining me from that group is immigration attorney Joseph Marino. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
I think some people may not realize that the job of the attorney in immigration law is quite difficult because the laws are always changing. The ground is always shifting.
Yes, it's true. I mean, and if we take a step back for a moment and we look at history in the United States has a long history of supporting immigrants. We are a nation of immigrants. It's part of our culture. It's part of our heritage. And this hasn't changed. Recent polls have shown that for migrants, the United States is the top choice of countries to migrate to because America is seen as a place that's safe and offers a great deal of opportunity. Currently, right now, this remains unchanged. There are approximately 14% of the United States is made up of new immigrants, comprising some 47 million people. So there's still many, many people interested in coming to the United States to set up new lives. But the process is complex. It's expensive, and it's difficult.
If you could do one thing to streamline this system, what would you do?
When my grandparents came to the United States and came off of Ellis Island, they were interviewed for about 15 minutes. They were processed, and then they were done. That was the end of that process. Well, that's really changed. And right now, the immigration petitions are long and complex, and they've got to be done correctly. The government fees for the petitions are also enormously expensive. And so it starts to become prohibitive because if you're a new immigrant, and if perhaps your English isn't the best and your education is limited, the complexity of these petitions is enormously difficult. Even for myself as an attorney, I'm constantly conferring with colleagues to see the best way to approach these various petitions. And so we have the expense of the petitions, the complexity of the petitions, and of course, it becomes kind of lawyer driven. You need an attorney to get this done correctly. But when you add on the costs of hiring a private attorney, it becomes terribly prohibitive, especially for new immigrants, oftentimes working at low or minimum wage jobs.
So, how are you guys able to make a difference in their affording your legal services?
Well, the Immigration Advocacy and Support Center was founded in 2014 with the intention to provide quality, low-cost legal services to the immigrant community. And we try to work on a sliding scale basis so that we can offer these services to everyone who is in need. And in this way, they have an attorney, they have someone like myself that they can rely on at a cost that they can afford. And this helps make the process much less painful, both financially and in terms of its complexity. They have an organization that they can rely on when they have questions, when they don't understand what's going on. There's myself and my wonderful staff of people that stand ready to help immigrants every day that are coming through our doors. And I think it's made an enormous difference because when people achieve residency, when they have the legal right to work and live in the United States, when they have a social security number, then that's when actually opportunity begins. That's when they can begin to work towards new jobs and new careers. And that's when they can sort of hope for the best for their children because their children are starting off on a great note. And in that sense, our work is transformational because every day we see immigrants that finally, after months and months of waiting, have received their green card, have received their citizenship or their work permit or the humanitarian parole, and they're ready to get moving with their lives. They want to move on, and this is the ticket that they need to do it. So in that sense, our work really is transformational. And I would argue extremely important, not just for the immigrants that we assist, but for the community at large. Because when folks are successful, the community is more successful.
Joseph Marino, thank you so much for joining us to tell us about the work.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here for Comcast Newsmakers. Until next time, I'm Nathan O'Leary.